does it block it sometimes, but not other times? Why does it let me set it as the... Uh-oh.
Sorry, it secretly did the thing. It did the thing when I wasn't looking. So I guess that's... There's a little bit of Windows in Arch. That's what we're learning. Secretly, they've put some Windows in Arch. Arch Linux. Why does my fucking microphone go to 100% volume on its own? That's a good search. That will definitely give me results. Hey, KDE keeps raising my microphone settings to 100%.
Now he has nowhere to lay his vagina bones.
I'm concerned because this post is from 2018. That does not bode well.
I know you guys don't see any of that. I see all of that.
But yeah, what I was saying was, why is it only auto-modding that sometimes? And why does it let me set it as the stream title and the stream notification with no problem? Why did it just auto-mod? Doug. It just... Yeah, it just did it to you again, Doug. I'll allow it. What's going on? So who discovered this? Is this just going around Twitch right now? Rudy, you discovered this? What the fuck? This is our new passphrase. You can only get in if you say this. I keep having to allow it. And it seems totally fucking random. You know what, though? I think I'm suspicious because I noticed that there's a little bit of a different thing going on than I've seen before. So when the automod is catching it, it has a fucking thing on it that says, yeah. So automod says, held a message for reason, and then in bold, smart detection with a little icon. If I hover over the icon, it says, holds messages based on your channel's moderation patterns. What? Have we been banning people for talking about the formula? And then there's a big badge after that that says beta. And then it says allow, we'll post it to chat. So they probably did some fuck shit and vibe coded some stupid LLM shit into the moderation, and we're fucked. It's over, boy. we are cooked. Didn't you post it before, Food, and it didn't get you? Oh, when you're adding punctuation, it's seeing it as a different instance, I guess. Stupid ass shit. Stupid dumbass shit. Let's see. God. Do I really have to edit a fucking configuration file to prevent my microphone volume from changing? I'm going to lose my mind. Pulse audio disable auto volume. Oh no, there's so many messages that need to be allowed. Oh no. Oh cool, when I try to load this website, there's nothing there. Great. Love it. God damn it. People keep saying this fixed it for me and then posting that link that doesn't damn exist anymore. The other thing people are saying, like, my browser did it or Skype did it or whatever. And it's like, it's not, I don't have any of that shit. There isn't a conveniently placed setting in here to prevent things from changing the volume. I don't know why that feature, I don't know why it's so hot at 100%. I have no fucking idea. I like having that level of headroom, except for that the fucking volume gets changed by something. I guess it's time for me to delete Bob Bold, very sadly, and with respect. Miss you, bud. Thank you for being a kind guy. Bye-bye. I wonder how long. I have one slot now, so I just keep having to click trash can and then click confirm and then trash can and then confirm. And I have no idea when I'm going to finally hit a subscriber. It's anybody's guess. Whoops. Oh, wow. I didn't look at that one closely. Oh. Yeah, Craig, it has a chance again. Hard to say, man. We've had some, like, crazy lurkers. There's a name I recognize. I feel like I haven't seen in a long time. Yeah. It would have to come massively. It's Jazza. Thank you for 114 months. Is there a limit to how many you can have? Yes. There's 25 total. So many names I'm coming across that I have distant memories of struggling to pronounce. Steve is sitting here next to me. Steve, the climber. Thank you for 19 months. Apparently you're sitting here next to me. Who's it gonna be? I am deleting so many people. This is crazy. Circumcision. This must have been a joke name night. Ah! It is done. It is done. We have hit a subscriber. Well, we didn't hit them. But we have landed on a subscriber, a 122-month subscriber with one message in the past many years. And their name, I think, is going to be a lesser known one. I think this is a big lurker. It's Frost Magi. Mr. Krabs or Plankton. So the full squad now are all currently subscribed, and it's Tim and Z. And these are in chronological order, by the way. So Tim and Z is like the founder. Dilbert23, Ends Gamer, also known as Chibli. Tweesol. Elfang, Morvy. The fart name, I think the name was Gigglypuff. Did we call them Gigglypuff? Is that what we called them? Does that sound right? I don't know. Elfang is one of the first 10 now. I don't know if that applies. Giggle fart. Giggle fart. Mr. Revolution 1991. Cobot. Television. Elusive. LHFDO. Bellament. Timothy B89. Nuked. Xanadu 777. Blues McGroove. Quaxum. Epio, Paintbrush Puke, Viking Warlock, Troy Borg, Quantum Dude 836, Sir Maxis, and Frost Magi. And I'm just waiting for one of them to show up and be like, oh, I fucking forgot to cancel this shit. Oh yeah, Paint's been around for most of stream a day. Oh, I've been trying to plan for tomorrow, and I failed pretty dramatically because the life has been still getting sucked out of me by my work and stuff. And I also don't have my phone really set up in any way at all. I've neglected to do that. What's tomorrow? Nakomi's birthday. And my birthday is also soon. So we're kind of going out for both, but it's mainly her. And I think I really failed in my planning. I was trying to find unique and fun things to do in Columbus, but it's what I've learned about Columbus is that everybody has the world's worst websites. That's what I've learned. It is indeed in Ohio, yeah. She actually went out today and just got some new piercings. Lamp. Yeah, I saw the Franklin Park Conservatory. I stumbled upon something called Le Petit Chef. And, wow. Does anybody know about that one? Oh, we were operating under the misapprehension that tomorrow was supposed to be kind of fine weather-wise. But perhaps it is ick. Is it from TikTok? Is this something that became a virus? That's what the kids say, right? So basically what it is you go out for a meal and there's a projector pointed down at the tables, and it's an animated experience. So like there's a little guy that looks like he's like 2 or 3 inches tall, and it's just sort of a thing where you watch a little chef make your food. And it happens on the plate in front of you. And that's kind of a cute idea and whatever. But y'all, it's $180 per person. Yep. It's a cute idea if it were like maybe a little bit more than a regular meal, but $180 per person is insane. Kids between 6 and 12 get to do it for $80 per, though. I also didn't know that we had a whole ass safari in the middle of Ohio. Yes, M. It's not at the zoo. I think it's associated with the zoo. But, like, they have safari trucks and shit. And they have rhinos and giraffe and some hyena-like dogs. I think there was zebra. Yeah, I was shocked by this. I was also blown away by the way the outdoors looked. It didn't look like Ohio. It looked like a fucking safari, and I'm just like, how does this exist in the middle of fucking Ohio? That would be fantastic, Em. Actually, you're reminding me, another thing that I cast my eye upon was puppies and yoga. Which is exactly what it sounds like. It's yoga, but they just let puppies loose in the yoga area. Yes, you just get to hang out with puppies. You get to cuddle, pet, play, attempt to do yoga while there are puppies around. Whatever you want to do that involves puppies and yoga. They didn't show any pictures of anybody doing yoga. I think we all know what this is. It's a fucking room where you go and you hang out with puppies. The and yoga part is basically irrelevant. But we're not really yoga people, and I didn't want to shamefully drag my distorted body into a place of yoga people who are all like models. I'll pass. We have puppies. I never have, no. But I doubt it's a bunch of people who look like me. Yeah, puppy yoga has kind of taken the nation by storm, I feel, right? Isn't it like everywhere now? I'm always a little on things like that because on the surface it sounds amazing. But in reality, I worry about the exploitative nature of involving animals in a business. That's not to say that it can't be done. There's like kitty cafes and stuff that are good. They're good. They tend to double as like adoption centers, and I'm with that. But it does open the possibility, because there's a lot of people who suck shit, right? And that bothers me. Well, there's just, don't forget the harrowing tale of her cafe. Lest we forget. Purr, hiss. Hell. Yes, unfortunately, puppy farms are quite prevalent in the States. We could look to see what they claim. Because I'm sure people immediately raise these sorts of concerns. It seems like puppies and yoga is a like a national operation. It's puppies-yoga.com. Puppy wellness. That's one of their main menu options. Our staff is dedicated to bringing you or ensuring you have the best possible experience while prioritizing the health and well-being of the puppies. Puppies will always have access to water, and they'll be fed on their usual schedule. They have over 30 minutes of rest between classes. They also sleep whenever they want during a class. Cleanliness, everything is kept clean. Wellness checks. The puppies attending the classes are vaccinated, weaned, and in excellent health. They have been thoroughly examined by animal professionals before any class. Yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, this is them saying that, right? So, who knows? I'm gonna do a random search. The dark secret behind puppy yoga. Well, I did get various posts. Puppy yoga, unveiling the hidden dangers of unlicensed events. Puppy yoga explained. What is it, and is it ethical? The very next one. Puppy yoga is unethical. And this is by a rescue. Puppy yoga, the dark side of a trend and LA's shelter crisis. Puppy yoga may seem fun and relaxing, but the truth behind it is far from ethical. Recent investigations have revealed serious animal welfare concerns, especially in the UK. What is it with the UK and dogs anyway? What the fuck is happening in the UK? In Los Angeles, a business called Puppies Yoga Los Angeles promotes puppies sourced exclusively from breeders, despite LA's laws against retail sales of breeder-sourced pets. Meanwhile, shelters in LA are so overcrowded that volunteers are feeding dogs cheeseburgers before they are euthanized due to lack of space. What the fuck? Sorry, I probably shouldn't have read that one to you. I apologize. The disparity between these two realities is unacceptable. Let's explain why puppy yoga is harmful, how this business violates ethical standards, and what you can do to help. You doubt that? I mean, this sounds so conspicuous to me that it feels like it's referencing something highly specific. I meant like I probably just shouldn't have like read that straight out without warning. Okay, well, you know, Ifa, maybe you're right, because when I search for that, only this website comes up. I mean, maybe my search is too specific. I copied and pasted it from that article. I can never get in there and crank it ever again. I mean, this is bringing up articles about giving animals nice final meals. Okay, but it does seem like I'm finding stuff about LA shelters being overloaded and that leading to you know what. But I just can't find this cheeseburger connection. Well, whatever. So what's the problem? Puppy yoga involves live puppies roaming around a yoga class, allowing participants to interact with them. While marketed as a wellness activity, animal welfare experts have raised serious concerns about the stress and harm these sessions can cause the puppies. Early separation. Investigation in the UK found puppies as young as 6 to 7 weeks old being used in these classes. Dehydration and sleep deprivation. Okay, I'm starting to feel like the official Puppies Yoga website is answering exactly this list of things. Dehydration and sleep deprivation. Some businesses withhold water from puppies to prevent accidents during class. ITV News. So again, that's the UK. Anonymous, thank you for the 3 months of gift sub to Dan Star the First. Okay, well that whole block is just covering the UK, and their problem with Los Angeles one is that it's unethical because they source from breeders, and in contrast with the fact that there's a shelter overpopulation crisis. So I guess they're suggesting that if they're going to source puppies from somewhere, it should be probably from the shelters. Well, I don't know how valid this stuff is. I just looked it up because I was curious. I think it's good that people cast a critical eye upon such things. But also, some of these people might be unhinged. Yeah, I mean, it really seems like something happened in the UK, and that's what most of these articles are about. All of these other articles are about. They're all like from ITV or Euro News or whatever. No, yeah. I mean, this is what I was saying, Ifa, is that for the most part, it may be fine, but it inevitably opens the door for some issues like this. This is still the same Nintendo playlist, but it is massive, RFCat. And there's many videos. There's 9 videos, and they're like all hours long. This just sounds like the time. And that got caught, by the way, because you added a little more to it. So now I have to allow that one. Mainly what always raises my suspicions is just people making money off of shit. That's when problems start to arise. Anyway, I hope that Nakomi has a nice day tomorrow. I only have like one place in particular really locked in as like a secret destination. And then the rest is a sort of amorphous blob of potentials. So we'll see. And my phone is not set up at all, so I'm not gonna have Android Auto or Maps or anything. And also because I'm being like so persnickety. I have to I've been splitting shit up into user profiles, which has some fucking consequences, folks. Oh yeah, I've been on Nakomi and I both have been on Graphene OS now for Has it been a week yet? I think approaching a week. But the trouble is, so the approach of doing like you install on the owner profile, but then you use by distributing the apps to sub profiles or other user profiles basically, is like every profile is its own sandbox. It's like a whole other person. So if you set up, for example, like let's say you set up all of your contacts on one profile. When you switch to the next profile, you don't have any of your contacts. And the rationale for why I'm doing that, yeah, they can't be active simultaneously, but apps can be backgrounded. Actually, profiles can be active in the background. By default, they are. You actually, if you want them to not be active in the background, you have to end session them to kill them, which is another advantage of profiles. So basically, I am using them or trying to use them as a sandbox for sort of collections of types of apps that I like. I don't want apps to have access to each other. That's like outside of my control, basically. Yes, so you can hot swap them basically. But like I said, the trouble is because they're sandboxed, that applies to data too. So like, for instance, I set up a media profile and I set up my podcast app in there. But if I wanted to then set up an Android Auto profile that's like everything Android Auto and all of the apps that are going to work with it, I can send Android Auto and my podcast app to that profile, but my podcast app will not be set up. I have to set that up over again. Don't want the apps breeding. Well, kind of. I mean, a lot of the privacy issues on mobile phones is that apps can snoop each other's data. I don't know if it is or isn't, like, I don't know if there's something else I can do to make this approach more palatable. I like the idea of the approach. I mean, you can see what I'm saying, right? You can see the benefits, but yeah, like from a convenience perspective, it sucks shit. Oh, so you mean like just always use my podcast app from the Android Auto profile? Outside of other permissions, yes. Then that's the point, is that like it depends on the situation and what's necessary for the apps to function and blah blah blah. I'm trying to live a different life here. Emerlyn, good night. I hope it's a good night. I didn't mean to say that a second way, but more ominously. I meant it to sound friendly, but it came off like a curse almost. Ooh, that would be cool, Cercero. My problem is like I am just trying to protect myself from the data harvest, you know, and I haven't really done that before, and I'm probably overdoing it now. But a lot of this shit is like, it's just a total fucking free-for-all, and you don't totally know what's going on your phone. And with recent events and the way things have been going, that shit's been bothering me more and more and more. Kansas. That's the thing. It's not like shit isn't happening. I mean, the shit that is happening is, for the most part, not happening to me. So it's probably even more absurd seeming, I guess. I'm not in a minority or marginalized group in particular, really, of any sort. I am just a random asshole. If anything, I would encourage other people to do this who are more, subject to being targeted. Yeah, that's true too. These are good ideas, Sir Sarah. It's funny because, what's advised is for newbies like myself is just fucking do everything on the owner profile and don't try to be fancy. And I'm experiencing the consequences of trying to be fancy. I knew what they were, though. So it's fine. I'm not put off by it. This is more a struggle of my own with like convenience versus customization versus security and privacy, and just I have to find a balance. This is like the shit I've been doing. It's like going grocery shopping hungry. I'm going a little wild. First they came. It's just, the poem is really long. Eventually. And then they came for random assholes. And I'm one. And there was nobody. There was nobody to stand up for me. Lots of honey. Are you suggesting that the entire graphene phone is a honeypot? There is a lot of concerning pushback stuff happening. Apparently, France wants to destroy Graphene OS. They say it is only used by drug traffickers. There's another weird thing that's going on because of California, I guess. This is actively happening now, where they passed a bill or a law or whatever requiring operating systems to have like a low-level age verification baked into the operating system. That's what I thought as well. But there was some concerning things already happening. What was it that I saw? It's California law, CA AB 1043. I think there was a... Oh, yeah. There was like at least one that I saw. So, Midnight BSD. Until we have a better plan, we modified our license to exclude residents of California from using Midnight BSD for desktop use, effective January 1st, 2027. So, it'll be things like that, I guess, will be what will happen. Yeah, the age verification thing is seemingly the vehicle, and you know, it's weird, right? Because it's always this thing of like the justification is protecting children, but then on the other end of that, you have, you know, they're taking the face scans and they're plugging them into Palantir, or they say they are not saving your photos of your IDs that you took, and then they leak, you know, 70,000 people's IDs to hackers or whatever. Like, yeah. I don't know. Shit's bad. And that's why I'm just trying to take at least personal precautions. Yeah, and I feel like everybody should try to move to open source software as much as they possibly can. I know that it's inconvenient, but it's, I think, worthwhile to explore and see if you can find something that works for you. I would highly recommend Graphene OS. I think just having Graphene as your operating system, and even if you didn't really change much else about how you use your phone, the baseline configuration of the way Graphene works is a massive leap. Like, that's a huge improvement for protecting your privacy on a mobile device compared to the you know, the mainline phones, iPhones and Galaxy and whatever, all of the other phone operating systems. But that one does require an unfortunate, you know, financial leap to get there. But you may be able to get in by getting like the lowest Pixel phone that Graphene supports. Although probably as low as you should go would be like the 8 because of the memory, and then you have to get one that's OEM unlockable. Basically, Pixel 8 and up have tagged memory. Just look up tagged memory, Pixel 8. There are Pixels that are not unlockable. If they are like, as IFA said, fuck Verizon. If they come from providers, like, you're going to want to try to get one that came direct from Google. And you can put them in developer mode, and then you can unlock them. And then you can install Graphene OS. I don't know what the cost looks like, though, for used ones. And also, you might run into trouble trying to get one that's 100% guaranteed OEM unlockable that way. So, and also, it might just be me, but I would be skeptical of one that already has Graphene installed. I just feel more comfortable personally doing it myself. I know that there was no funny business. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not an expert IFA. I just know that Graphene recommends it. Maybe it doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, I think you can go older and therefore potentially cheaper. Graphene device list. They go all the way back to Pixel 6 Oriole. Pixel 6 on eBay. There's one here for $123. Buy it now. 128, 256 gigabyte, all colors unlocked. I don't know what that means. OEM enabled. Battery 85%. I also don't know what that means. I don't know what they mean by that. It looks like $100 more. You could probably just get yourself a Pixel 8. Like $200, $300, $400 you could get in, which is, I think, starting to become more approachable. That's more accessible to more people. It is only Pixels that are supported at this time. They're working with another OEM manufacturer for official support, but that is in the future still. They have a whole FAQ on this. Which devices will be supported in the future? Devices are carefully chosen based on their merits rather than the project aiming to have broad device support. Broad device support is counter to the aims of the project, and the project will eventually be engaging in hardware and firmware level improvements rather than only offering suggestions and bug reports upstream for those areas. Hardware, firmware, and software specific to devices like drivers play a huge role in the overall security of a device. The goal of the project is not to slightly improve some aspects of insecure devices, and supporting a broad set of devices would be directly counter to the values of the project. A lot of the low-level work also ends up being fairly tied to the hardware. Then they list a whole bunch of shit that's like requirements of the devices, past devices they supported. There are some other considerations here. Pixel 6 is only supported until October 2026. 6A till July 2027. The 7s end at 2027 October, and then the 7A 2028 May. Pixel 8 October 2030. The A's always seem to be the following May, so all of the 8s are October 2030. The 8A is 2031. The 9s are 2031. The 9A is 2032. The A's are made after. Gotcha. They don't talk about their OEM partner here. I thought they would. Anyway, I would strongly encourage anybody who's interested in this stuff and concerned about their privacy to look into it. And if money is a problem, you know, try to just aim for the lowest end that you're comfortable with. And see what you can do, because I think that phones, for the most part, are the biggest problem, right? For the most part, they're the most common devices people have and use, and they throw all their shit on the fucking phone, all of it. Their photos, their contacts, their data, their finances, their everything is on the fucking phone. So it's probably Motorola. That's interesting. Very, Blockington. The main things that are different are not... They don't affect compatibility. They affect permissions. So one of the things that they offer in their App Store are pre-sandboxed Google apps. So sandboxed Play services, sandboxed Play Store, and other things. So you can still run things that require Play services, but it's kind of like when you get a privacy-focused browser, and when you use something like Facebook or YouTube or Google or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, a lot of those browsers will do like an automatic container for those specific sites to keep them from being able to like sniff other sites' cookies, see where you came from, see where you're going, and those sorts of tracking methods. So essentially Graphene is doing a similar thing by pre-sandboxing the Google stuff so that it's like chained down, and then you can give it more permissions as needed, tailored to your needs, as opposed to if you buy a Pixel and it's Google's official operating system. In that case, the Google stuff is deep integrated in the operating system. Does that make sense? So you can't disentangle yourself from Google on a Google Pixel official. There's just no way. It's basically part of the operating system in a sense. Android itself obviously doesn't include any of these things, but this is part of like Google's tailoring of the operating system when they put it on the Pixel phone at the factory. I've been digging into this stuff a bit, and I don't know much about Fairphone. But there are other things that I think are probably, in general, not as good. But it would be interesting to look at. It would be great if there was more than one project like this, of course. But yeah, I mean, you can run Graphene OS and set yourself up in such a way that you could probably have a pretty normal Android phone experience, really. It's all down to what you're willing to do. Like, you could just use the owner profile and install all your usual shit, including the Google stuff. But then you just also have the advantage of being able to use other app stores. And you have the advantage of that at least the baseline security and privacy of the phone is extremely high. And like maybe you're compromising that by running everything in one profile and enabling more permissions and so on and so forth. But it's like, you know, are you a journalist being targeted by a government, or are you an individual? You know, your mileage may vary. And so you can really take it in whatever direction. But I think just the fact of having that operating system as a starting point is a massive upgrade in just sort of personal protection in this era, you know. Mr. Bear. What were you doing? You seem like you're up to some business, buddy. He's just standing there. I can tell you that the experience was really nice and painless. We got Pixel 9 Pro XLs because those were just the most aligned with the features and things that we wanted. So it was not inexpensive. We splurged because we wanted more, a little bit like phones that were a little bit more powerful and had a little bit more feature-wise. We wanted the physical SIMs. etc. So it was a little bit more costly for us. I think altogether it was like $1,300 or $1,400 for both phones, not each altogether. But we got phones that were like at least on par or maybe a bit better than our current phones. It was an upgrade for me. I was coming from an iPhone 13. Nakomi has, I forget what she had. She had a newer-ish Android. It's probably roughly on a par with the Pixel 9. Not totally sure. But yeah, we wanted phones that had a little bit more power and felt a little bit more modern. And then what you do, I mean, the installation process is incredibly easy. You get the phone. So we got ones that are just Google factory, right? No provider. So it's just however it came from the factory in the box, which means you take it out, turn it on. It's got whatever Android that it came with. You do an update to latest. Now this is advised. From my perspective, that felt like, should I? What if they one day turn off the ability to unlock? But whatever. They tell you to update to latest, which I did. And then you go into About Phone, and you go down to where it shows you like what I forget specifically. It's like the version of the phone or something, and you just keep tapping it. And then you'll start getting this countdown, like 3 more taps until you become a developer. And you just keep tapping it until it makes you a developer. And then if you go into system, you'll have this unlocked option to unlock the phone. And from there, you just have to connect it to a computer or a tablet or whatever via USB and a browser that supports controlling devices over USB. Chrome, for instance, is one. And then you go to a web page on Graphene's site, and it has a series of steps where you just basically press buttons until Graphene OS is installed, and you're done. That's it. There's some steps to follow, but they're not hard. It's really quite easy. You have to say developers, 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 and you have to sweat. You also need to be bald. So, I mean, hopefully that sounded encouragingly easy for anybody who is maybe on the offense. We're joking about Steve Ballmer, one of the original Microsoft guys. There's a video, an old viral video of a Microsoft Developers Conference where Steve Ballmer goes on the stage and he... it's just cringe stuff, you know? It's just cringe stuff. And there's one point where he just starts going, developers, 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 developers. He's like clapping his hands, and he seems unhinged. It's real white-collar, white people cubicle energy on stage, which was always Microsoft, right? That was always the thing. Like, Microsoft was always kind of stuffy and cringe. Truly an ancient meme, yes. Whereas, by contrast, Apple was always hip and cool. Oh yeah, there was many remixes of this. It's classic. The link is right there, Arfie. Right there. Doug posted it. Oh my gosh. All right, calm down.
Developers.
He's sweating his ass off.
Developers.
He's losing his voice. It reminds me of that one fucking Democrat guy. He was running for president, and he just made a weird sound, and it ended his campaign. Forget his fucking name. He said, "Yeah, weird." Stern? I don't think that's right. Stern? Dean. Dean sounds right. I need the full name. Dean. Yeah. Ah, yes. The scream that doomed Howard Dean.
You know something? You know something?
Really takes me back.
If you had told us 1 year ago that we were going to come in third in Iowa, we would have given anything for that. And you know something? You know something? Not only are we going to New Hampshire, Tom
I love
Harkin,
the run-up.
we're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma
Get ready.
and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. And we're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Ah!
Oh, it's still just as good. He went caca. And that took him out. That took him out. You've never heard of it before? I'm so happy to introduce you to it. It's a fucking classic. You can kind of tell by looking at him that he seems like he kind of knows he fucked up, too. He looks stun-locked.
We will not give up.
Trying to recover.
We will not give up in New Hampshire. We will not give up in
Don't
South
do it
Carolina.
again, buddy.
We will not give up in Arizona or New Mexico.
We don't need the list again.
Oklahoma, North Dakota, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan. We will not quit now or ever. We want our country back for ordinary Americans.
Wow. Also, the most played graph on this video looks like Mount Fiji. What the hell? I don't want this.
You know something? And Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Ah!
Yeah, he just like stopped existing. Is he still alive? I hope it says yeah on his tombstone. Oh, poor guy. Well, I don't know. Most people now, our feed, point out that like that used to be all it took to take down a politician. Now it seems like nothing can. It seems like there's no way to stop them. He gives, just really, in that video at least, he gives off a lot of dad energy. He just looks like a dad. That guy's a dad. Hi, Bun Bun. Don't cry. Hi, Bun Bun. Bun, 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 bun. Special bun. Oh. Eating pizza weird. That did happen, right? Did that end somebody's career?
There is a hole.
There is. Jack. C. Thank you for 21 months. We all agree with you. including Automod. Well, y'all, I must go. We have a big day tomorrow. I will regale you with our birthday tales. And I hope we have a lovely birthday time. If squeezing in one more auto mod right at the end. They all have feet. Y'all have a beautiful night. I will see you next stream. Bye 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 bye.